Good morning, guys. My name is Sean Dexter. And I welcome you back. I welcome you back to the Mango Grove for your daily Bitcoin analysis video. Bitcoin dumping all the way down, and hey, pumping pretty much 50% of the move back up. I have with me here Krisha. Krisha, say hi and give us your thoughts.
What's up, everybody? Sean, I love your good mornings. Like, even though I am awake, you still manage to wake me up somehow all over again.
Hey.
But Bitcoin is doing what Bitcoin does best, just messing with everyone and our emotions. But no, I think I didn't like last night's close. I mean, yeah, I didn't like it because we closed. I was looking for price to at least maintain that 9,330 region, right, Sean? It was a major horizontal, and we closed underneath it. So it's weak, okay, but the only solace I'm finding on this chart right now is the fact that we're maintaining some sort of diagonal. I don't know if you see it as well, but
I do, and we will get to that. But I do want to touch on what you just said. Weakness. I will have to disagree with you over there. Yes, we did see a big down move, and I would call this a second coming of the coronavirus for Bitcoin. More so because I do believe that traditional markets had a scare in terms of COVID numbers going up again, and we saw S&P take a big gap down and then continuation, in fact, and Bitcoin responded as well. But in my opinion, we haven't seen a break of any major levels. I think that you're referring to 9,350 and us closing the daily underneath that. But
yes,
Krisha,
that's right.
For the longest time, like I've been telling everyone over here in the Mango community, the Mango Grove and the Mango Seed, the 2-day time frame has been our guide, and we haven't closed the 2-day just yet. We have 13 hours to go before we do close that candle, and what do you know, we are living above it as we speak, right? All the way up at 9,450, and I think that we're not only just going to close above the 9,350 on the 2-day time frame, but we may actually close above the 2-day 10 SMA at 9,550. But hey, before I do pull that up, I do want to remind you guys, for the longest time now, ever since the beginning of the month of May, we've been saying the test of the 2-day 21 EMA is going to be a buy, and we've been taking buys off that multiple times, right? Once, twice, and last night too, I bought 9,150. I'm going to pull up the Mango Ribbon now. That's going to show us the Tenkin, the blue Tenkin, the yellow 21 EMA, and the 10 SMA. All right, all of that lining up perfectly last night, giving us an amazing buy opportunity, Krisha, on that 21 EMA on the 2-day time frame once again, right? And each time we've bounced aggressively. Right over here again, 10th of May, like I mentioned, again 24th of May, and now again 11th of June, giving us 3 big buy opportunities. And what was the big confidence booster for us on all 3 of them? The Mango Vine right over here, right? You're seeing the buy once, over there twice, over there 3 times, and each one of those buys were a good multi-$1,000 move right over there. $2,000 move right over here too. That was a good 20% move, $1,600, $1,700 move. And now this move thus far was so far a $375, $400 move. But we don't know, right? We don't know how much more this has yet to go. And yeah, Krisha, thoughts?
No, now that you bring this up, I agree with you, right? Because, I mean, if you just put on that 2-day ribbon, Sean, you'll notice that right now price is closer to the 10 SMA than it is to the 21 EMA.
There you go.
So it appears that we've come down all the way to the 21 EMA and the 10-kin, right? On the 2-day time frame, guys. I hope you guys are with us. But yeah, we came down there and we sort of wicked off from there, and now we're like hovering right under the 10 SMA. Now we close the 2-day candle tomorrow. So yeah, I think this will look so much like a trap if we do end up taking back that 10 simple moving average. And even what's going to be even more bullish, Don, is that we actually close the 2-day above that
350.
9,600
Okay.
9,600 region.
I see what where you're taking this. Yes, if we
Yeah.
actually close 9,650 as well, that's going to be ultra bullish in my books at least. And yeah, that's actually going to look so good. I'm not leaning towards that, but if that does happen, man, I'm going to be so happy. But I do want to get back to the 2-day 21 EMA test. Like, price came down there, giving us a gift of an opportunity one more time, and it seems like a lot of people were ill prepared yet again, right? And this is why I keep telling you guys, try and stay away from the lower time frames, because the more you stare at the lower time frames, the more you're going to miss the big picture. And the big picture was that all we did last night was come down, test a major level, put in a higher low. Okay, well, so far it's not confirmed just yet, but it's looking like it's going to at least try for one, and a higher low compared to our previous lows of 8,590, and before that it was 8,100ish, right? We came all the way down to 9,000, Krisha. I did not get the buy in over there. I got the buy in at 9,150, and I thought that was a good buy, but hey, people who did manage to catch 9,050, there was a case to be putting a bid over there. Good job on all of you. And what are your thoughts now, Krisha? Where do you see Bitcoin going from here? Do you think we're going to see continuation down or up?
It's still, I mean, now that the 2-day, you brought up the whole 2-day time frame, it's still looking good. And note that we are closing a weekly candle. Now, a lot of you guys know that I am only following the weekly chart, right? The weekly, I mean, I'm looking for that weekly to close inside the cloud. But Sean, I don't know, if you pan on over to the weekly cloud,
I just
you'll see the
it looks like we're defending the top of the bottom of the cloud too. So
we're defending the bottom of the cloud, but I want you to notice how the cloud just kind of slopes down, right? Sort of there's a drop right after.
Yes.
So while we can, defend the cloud, we may see another down move. Either way, though, I mean, just price being in the cloud is bullish on its own, quite frankly.
So Krisha, since you've pulled up the weekly, let's take it one step further and let's start with the monthly, and we'll take it backward from there. All right. Cool. I want us to pull up the monthly. Keep the mango ribbon on, or your Ichimoku if you do want to, but I'm going to turn on the mango ribbon. I'm going to point out that, hey, we are defending that major level that we've been talking about now for more than a month, right? 9,350, right? Look at the candle. We're defending the monthly open right over there, holding it green. Yes, we flipped red very briefly, but the bulls are defending it. We tested the top of the Kijun one more time, getting rejected, but we took out the high of the previous month, something not to be ignored, something not to be neglected. So if we hold this month's open and hold the candle green, essentially, the fact that we took out the high of the previous month is going to look good to me, right? So the bulls have a lot of leeway over here. We do have support on the monthly coming in at 8,480. Okay, I want you guys to remember that number. Okay, 8,480ish. Let's round down a little bit, 8,450, and keep that number in mind. It's going to be very important. We have the Tenkin coming in over there on the monthly. We have the 10 SMA of the monthly coming in over there as well. The 10 SMA, by the way, which was sloping downwards, is beginning to flatten out and angle itself upwards. So this month, even if Bitcoin manages to go sideways, it's going to be a win for the bulls, in my opinion. Closing anywhere above 9,450ish is going to be even a stronger of a win. So those two levels are going to be very important. 9,350 holding that, and 9,450 closing above that. All right. Any thoughts, Krisha, before we move on?
No, I agree with you there. I'm just kind of panning on over to, my EMAs and my horizontals and stuff, just to see what price is relative to those major monthly levels.
Okay, cool. So again, 9,350, key level we need to defend. 9,450 is going to look good if we close above that. Major support on the monthly coming in at 8,450-ish. All right, now I'm going to switch on over to the weekly time frame. Cool. So we have the Kijun, the 21 MA, the 10 SMA, all beginning to bunch up right over there. But where's the major level coming in, Akrisha? The 21 EMA on the weekly, which has given us some really good trades in the past and may give us an opportunity if Bitcoin does see a bearish move. Where's that coming in at? 8,450. There you go. So we not only have the monthly 10K and the monthly 10 SMA over there, but we have the weekly 21 EMA. So if Bitcoin does decide to take out those major 2-day levels that I'm looking at, coming in at I believe 9,200ish right now, I'll be looking for an $800 move towards the downside before I become a buyer again, where I'll be looking to buy or bid 8,450ish.
Yeah, I think that will be sort of the most prudent thing to do, right? I think patience is required here more than anything else.
But are you noticing what's happening, Kusha? The longer price begins to go even sideways or even slightly trudge up, all these weekly levels are rising higher and higher. A few weeks ago, everybody was aiming for 7,200, 7,400. Now people are suddenly eyeing 8,400, 8,900. People are beginning, even psychologically, to raise their own bids, right? And they're not even, like you mentioned in yesterday's video, Kusha, they're not bearish for a further downside towards the 6,000s and 1,000 levels like they were all the way underneath the Tenkin. Now they are now looking to be buyers, right? They're bearish to be buyers, which is a good thing. I do like that about the community. People know when to be bullish, know when to be bearish.
Yeah, and I think that's the more sort of glaring sort of switch in psychology that we've seen, you know. And I think that in itself is a tell. But you're right in that, you know, levels have sort of creeped up. Now, for example, that weekly 21, think about the 10 as well as the 21, both sitting at around that 8.4K region.
Yes.
Right? Like these are not just any kind of levels. This is the weekly 21 EMA.
Exactly. And it has been beneficial to keep an eye on these higher levels. Historically, if you do see, or rather backtest, you'll see that these levels, just being patient for these levels and taking plays off these levels, have led to some very good stress-free mango-like trades. When I play the daily and the 2-day, I feel like that's aggressive. Right? I feel like that's aggressive. It baffles me that people want to play the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame, and then are surprised when the charts are not being as generous to them.
Yeah.
I do want to point out, Krisha, that the 21 EMA and the 10 SMA have now crossed bullish, right? That's looking good too. We may see a test of that. So if we do again, like unless they're coming in at 8,400, right? The 10 SMA crossing the 21 EMA at that 8,450, we may see a test of that. But yesterday, the fact that we got picked up so aggressively on that move towards the downside of the 2-day 21 EMA, off the 12-hour wine yet again, makes me think that we may see yet another move towards that 10,000 region. And okay, you know what, I do want to go on over to the 2-day time frame, and I want to talk about that a little bit more, because I'm switching on over to the 2-day now. Mango ribbon still on, but okay. I'm going to clear out the mango ribbon for a second, and I'm going to point out the structure that you're probably seeing right off the bat, because you are pattern queen after all. We have a ascending triangle like formation going on over here, do we not? Right?
Yeah, no, I think
again, I'm not going to try to draw this too perfectly. You can use candle closes, or you could be using candle wicks. Either way, we do have a formation here that is coming closer and closer to the climax of this triangle, and that's kind of where I get a little hesitant with these formations. But it is a 2-day time frame, and we have all the way up to pretty much 19th of June, and we do have some expirations coming in on Deribit on these. So again, a little off topic, but I wonder if this actually goes sideways till the end of the triangle, and this basically does a BART towards both sides, kind of like we had right over here on the 1st of June. And pretty much Bitcoin just goes sideways, doing nothing, making no decision, right? Making no decision. And what's going to happen in that case? Because altcoins are going to look really good if Bitcoin keeps doing that.
Yeah, because what happens is that you usually see Bitcoin, form these triangles, and a lot of people, and as soon as everyone's got their eyes on it, Sean, I've noticed that that's when there are a lot of eyes on a particular pattern, especially those triangles, that's when the price tends to do like a bot-like move on either side.
Exactly.
Right, and thus it sort of broadens the range.
Indeed. Well,
and that's when alts actually start running. It's like become a signature now. Like you're just expecting it.
Yep.
But no, this is getting like super super close to the apex of this. In fact, is an ascending triangle. I mean, looking at structure, it is an ascending triangle, but it's getting too close to the apex.
If we do break towards the upside, we're looking at a measured move at around 11,500-ish towards the upside. We break towards the downside, we're looking at, let's say, somewhere around, oops, I stretched it a little bit, somewhere around 8,000, 7,980ish, right? Depending on where we break. Let me just go ahead and see if I did that right. Yep, pretty good. So yeah, Krisha, we may basically test the lows over here of the previous the 2-day 21 EMA test.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I feel like this will have to break, like, for this to actually pan out. Okay, for us to for this to be like an affirmation or confirmation on the ascending triangle, I would expect a break sooner rather than later. You know, the more time price spends in this, Sean, I don't know, I'm just expecting some nonsense to happen on the chart at that point.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. What I'm going to do now, Krisha, is I'm going to turn on our Ichimoku template. And I do want to point out what we talked about, or rather what I mentioned a few videos ago, where I was eyeing this Kumo twist over here, right? And I said, hey, this may actually see a pull towards that Kumo. Now, when we talk about a pull towards the Kumo twist, we don't necessarily say that, hey, price is definitely going to get sucked into that area over there, but we do tend to see a magnetic effect towards there. It now depends. The onus is on the bulls to come in and support price while it gets sucked in over there, right? Now, could we say that, hey, this was Bitcoin trying to get sucked into the Kumo, but the bulls are being aggressive over here and defending the Tenkin, defending the 2-day 21 MA. We also have the 2-day 200 moving average coming in, Kusha, at 8,755ish, right? So a lot of support before we even come close to taking out the previous low, which is coming in at 8,596. We have the 2-day Tenkin coming in at 9,248, the 2-day 21 EMA coming in at 9,186ish, the 2-day 200 moving average coming in at 8,750, and all of that is support before we take out the previous low. It's just so hard to get bearish or to want to leave your position before we actually take out those levels.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on that. Absolutely agree with you. So, but my question to you, Sean, is now at what point? Okay, now we lost that 9,600 region, right, that we were looking at for quite a few days now. At what point do you think that the picture is going to change and we're likely to see a further sort of downtrend on Bitcoin?
So people tend to forget that there are three positions to have, right? You could be bullish, you could be bearish, or you could be neutral and on the sidelines. There's no harm in saying, hey, you know what? I'd rather wait for Bitcoin to now make a decision, because at this point, Kusha, I think that would be the play if your system isn't giving you a clear-cut trade, right? Now, we got a clear-cut trade because of the combination of the mango wine, a bunch of other triggers on a system all going off together. But if it's looking unclear to you, there's no harm in sitting on the sidelines. In my opinion, things don't get clearly bearish until we take out 8,650. Until we take out that region right over here where I have my cursor, right, Krisha, closing a daily candle underneath there at the very least, right, or perhaps multiple 4-hour candles or 12-hour candles if you want to get really aggressive. You cannot get bearish. You can say, hey, I want to be neutral until we take back 9,600 again. That's completely fine. Or you could say, hey, I want to stay neutral until we take back 9,350 on the daily candle, right? That's completely fine too. If we close a daily candle about 9,350, I do think it'd be warranted to say, hey, you know what? I think we're going to make our way back up to this consolidation range or triangle, whatever you want to call it. However, getting bearish over here, I do think it's really, really premature. On the higher time frame, we've not cleared out any of the bearish levels, or rather support levels that matter. Right, we've just come, tested the support, saw a nice bounce, and now again, bulls seem like they have this under control.
Yeah. I'm actually still on that 2-day time frame. Something I've noticed, Sean, is price relative to that 2-day Tenkin.
Yes.
Right. Now I was looking at that, and I was looking at past performance relative to that Tenkin, and I noticed that every time price has either taken it out to the upside or taken it down to the downside. Okay, there's always been an ensuing sort of move.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
now
yes,
depending on which side it took out. And I'm noticing that, the Tenkin right now, I mean, price is still living above it. We have not closed a single candle underneath the Tenkin. But, and that's why I asked you what I asked you, right? I wanted to see if your sort of trigger would match up with the 2-day Tenkin. But you mentioned that 8,600 region, which if you put on your 200 simple moving average on the 2-day time frame, you'll notice that the 200 has sort of come in line there with that 8,000.
There you go.
Yeah. So that 8,600. So there's a lot of like support underneath us right now.
Kusha, if you do zoom out, and I really like what you said about the Tenkin, by the way. I've been eyeing that as well, and especially the last run too, the last bear run all the way down to 3,000 level. It was when we took out the Tenkin, we broke down, okay, came retested it, and just drive down. However, if you do turn on a 200 moving average on the 2-day as well, right, just like you mentioned, what was the safer play? The safer play was to wait for the 2-day 200 moving average to be taken out as well. And if you see, the big Corona candle came in drastically right after we cleared the 2-day 200 moving average. And again, like you mentioned, the 2-day 200 moving average coming in really well in line with that 8,600 level that I am eyeing, right? So at that point, we would have taken out both major levels, the 2-day Tenkin as well as the 2-day 200 moving average. Last time around, Krisha, there was good enough of a range between the 10K and the 200 to take the trade early. This time, we're looking at around, actually it's pretty good, a good $500 move between both of those levels, the 10K and the 2-day. But hey, the way Bitcoin has been moving so volatile recently, on these dumps, the way they've been getting picked up, I wouldn't want to be on the bear side of this until we actually clear out that 8,600 level.
Yeah.
I'm willing to get out of my position and wait and be neutral, right? I'm willing for that, but am I willing to take on short trades over the 200 moving average on the 2-day? No, I am not.
And I have one more question for you. Now, this is something that kind of strikes me as interesting. Okay, and I've been thinking about this myself, considering that I too am still leaning more on the bullish side than the bearish side, given, basically the levels that we have managed to take out on the weekly as well as that monthly time frame. Now, if you pan on over to the weekly time frame, Sean, you'll notice that in this entire range, okay, from this 10K region going all the way down to 8.7K, we've spent a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our 6th week here.
Indeed.
Okay, 6 weeks now. Okay, and we've been trying so hard to set in that friggin' higher high there on the weekly time frame. And the higher high, guys, is at 10,500 to be exact.
Yes.
Okay, 10,550.5. And 6 weeks. 6 weeks just hitting against this top region at 10K, and we're not able to take that out. So what do you think that is a sign of? Is it strength? Is it weakness? Because these are things that we need to consider, right? How much time Bitcoin spends trying to get up and take out those regions there?
That's a really good question, Krisha. So, conventional wisdom says that the longer that you spend against a support or a resistance level, in this case resistance, the more bearish it is, right? Because the bulls are losing strength. They're showing that they can't break through. Or you'll have someone else say, hey, you know what, actually this the fact that the bears are getting attacked this much, they're going to lose supply, right? They're going to lose their ability to absorb these attacks. So in my opinion, both of those approaches are half true. They're half true. I think a better way to look at it is, after each attack of a resistance or after each attack of a support level, what is the reaction of that level from that level, right? So if you're looking at it as a simple war between, let's say, the Walking Dead and the defenders of what are their names, Rick, etc. The horde are coming in and attacking the wall, right? The horde of Walking Dead, they're attacking the wall, and they're attacking the wall. Each time that they do attack, how far behind are they being pushed back by the defenders, right? If the defenders can't push them back hard enough, well, they're going to get overwhelmed eventually. And you can see that each time on the weekly time frame, Krisha, the higher lows are being set in, right? The wicks are higher and higher on the bottom, right? And that, in my opinion, is bullish. The reaction after each attack is bullish, right? If we wanted to see the bears actually defend against this attack, we'd want to see them push back the bulls a little bit stronger. Look at each of the the lower highs at, let's say, 21st of October, where we came in at around 10,400-ish, or what was it? Somewhere around 10,400-ish. It was pushed back aggressively, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of down. Okay. The next time we came up there, again, down, fast each time. This time, we're not seeing that. We're seeing sideways. It's like the Walking Dead are coming up to the wall, and they're holding, and in that time, there are more zombies gathering behind them. There are more and more zombies saying, you know what, we're all coming in and attacking this wall. And you're kind of seeing that psychology in the markets right now, where more of the bears are switching bullish and bullish and bullish. The people that were looking for moves all the way down to 6K, 7K are now looking to bid up 8,900, 9,200. They're all turning into zombies as well to attack this wall, right? Rick may not have much time.
Love the Walking Dead analogy. Okay, this is okay. That's. Yeah. I think you have a good point there. I think you have a good point in terms of price action on those 6 weekly candles. We are putting in those lower highs, and we have that one candle that's, you know, it almost got there. That's the one thing. That candle on June 1st, the week of June 1st, we almost made it. 10,430. Yeah.
We can pull in our Achilles analogy, right? I do like to tell people that at any time, Achilles may show up and help the defenders turn the entire battle around. Remember, guys, all it takes is one seller to come in and change the tides of the battle when it comes to bulls and bears. So don't ever get overconfident. Don't get overconfident. The Trojans got overconfident, and Achilles came and wrecked Hector, right? So you don't want that kind of thing, right? You always need to keep in mind that an Achilles may come in and turn your trade idea upside down. So always have your risk management in place.
Yes, sir.
And we may see that come in from the bears at any time, and we may see a big red candle. So be careful.
Agree.
All right, so before we wrap this up, Grisha, I do want to quickly go and look at the lower time frames just to show the dramatic buyback that we had yesterday, right? Coming down all the way to 9,050-ish on Deribit. At least we came down to around 9,055. I believe a few other exchanges came down that low, but Bitstamp came down to around 9,080-ish, close enough. And look at the buyback. We pretty much just more than 50% of this candle, the big candle, okay, was eaten up, more than 50%. And then what happened was we bounced more than 50%, tested it, and we've been pretty much drifting back up towards that 9,500 region. Again, the fact that we're closing multiple candles about 9,350 is pretty bullish to me. The longer we hold over there, the longer we're going to see more short positions close out their positions and essentially become buyers in the market, pushing price back up further and further. So
yeah,
keep an eye on that, guys. Let's turn on the mango ribbon on the lower time frame, see what's going on over there. We've retaken the 21 EMA, holding it now. We may come and give a test on the 10 SMA, see a wick down over here. To be honest, at around 9,391, I will be expecting that to get picked up and close candles again back over 9,400. Let's turn on the 4-hour time frame, keep the mango ribbon on. Looks like we've taken back the 200 moving average, Krisha. That was the big bear trap, in my opinion. I was expecting this to be a bear trap, just like last time around when we came and tested the 2-day 21 EMA. What I want all of you guys to do, Krisha, you too can go ahead and do this, is turn off everything. Turn off almost everything on your indicators except the 4-hour 200 moving average.
Okay.
As well as a 4-hour 200 exponential moving average. And you're going to see that each time that we oscillate around that level and then retake it with conviction, that ends up being a really, really good trend towards the upside, right? And we're seeing that right now. We lost both, tested it, and now we are retaking it. If we start closing multiple candles above this 200 moving average at around 9,450-ish, I do think that's going to lead up to another trend towards the upside, perhaps all the way up to 10,206. So again, tested it all the way over here too, and upside, tested over here, upside. Can we have another upside? If you do notice, Krisha, we are holding this trend line very, very well on the 4-hour time frame. Very, very well.
Yes,
right?
We are.
So
I want to see if the 200 EMA can actually have a bullish crossover over the 200 SMA. I think that too will set a tone of sorts.
Yes, I do agree.
Right, that is going to be a bullish crossover if and when it does happen.
Usually when the 200 exponential is above the 200 moving average, it does set a trend towards the upside as well. Yeah, you're right on that. So yeah, Kusha, any concluding thoughts before we wrap up?
No, you are the Bitcoin master, sir. So no, I think you covered most of it.
can look at the 12-hour quickly one more time. We have the 12-hour Kijun that was lost, but hey, this 12-hour trend line as well, which matches up with pretty much the 4-hour trend line, is looking really, really good. Let's look at the Ichimoku, see what's going on over there. Ichimoku's still green, right? Ichimoku's still green. So we came and tested the top of the cloud perfectly on the 12-hour Krisha one more time. So that was another way to be looking at this trade, right? We talked about this, I think, a couple of weeks ago, where the top of the 12-hour cloud is going to be very, very crucial. If we start closing candles within the cloud, that's going to be a first big sign as to whether or not Bitcoin actually sees continuation towards the downside. And now look at the perfect setup. Those of you who remember our trade setups all the way from the 10K region that we were trading, this is pretty much very, very similar, right? We have the 200 moving average lining up perfectly with the bottom of the cloud over here, the 10K over the Kijun, and let's turn on the 21 EMA. Okay, 21 EMA lining up perfectly with the 10K, so we can go ahead and turn that off. Now, here's the thing, guys. If we do start seeing 12-hour candles close within the cloud, I'm going to be expecting a move down to the 12-hour 200 moving average at around $8,000. So you're seeing the bulls defend the top of the cloud very, very carefully over here. Very, very carefully. And let's go ahead and see what the mango vine is saying. We kind of already saw what it said yesterday, got the buy-in, and now as long as this holds green, Krisha, I'm expecting this to keep trending towards the upside. When this starts flipping red and we have candle closes within the cloud, well, it gives us a really, really strong buy too. So there's no reason at all for me to be bearish on this. No reason at all.
I just spotted something.
Okay. She sounds excited, guys.
Bear with me for a second, guys. But this is more of a fractal. I mean, it's fun, right? I know a lot of you guys like fractals, so why the hell not? Humor me for a second.
Okay.
But if you look at this ascending triangle, right, that we're in right now, right? And I hope you're in the 12-hour. Are you still in the 12-hour time frame? Okay, brilliant. Okay, now you see this ascending triangle?
Yes.
So we started this ascending triangle all the way on May 7th, right? And we've sort of been trudging within that range. Now, if you sort of, scroll back, like go back in time to when we, this is March 20th, Sean. Okay, you'll see like a very, very similar sort of ebb and flow of price action there. Ooh. So this was on a push up from that 4K region as soon as we dumped this time all the way down to the 3-4K, right? Our first push up, we pushed all the way up to 6K.
Yes.
And then had a move down, got stopped at the Tenkin, move up. And it just seems, if you look at the ebb and flow of that price action, leading all the way up to that 7.6K region until we actually broke to the upside, it looks very reminiscent of what is happening right now. Even that range, if you remember, that was like super, super choppy.
Yes.
Right? People were not prepared for the 7K
push
run that we had.
Yep. I see what you're talking about in terms of price psychology. Definitely very, very similar, and that's what's keeping me very, very confident in my trade towards the upside over here. Now, I could very well be wrong, and if you do remember, guys, I was on the wrong side of the trend over here, right at the 6K to 7K region, and I do believe that something very, very similar is going on over here, where people on each down move, people are expecting continuation, but what instead is happening is Bitcoin just gets picked up and picked up and picked up, setting in higher lows. Even though they may be very, very slight, right? What ends up happening is the price moves down just enough to get people bearish, right? And get that confidence in, and they start piling on shorts, and all they end up doing is providing liquidity to the bulls, who are pretty much in control ever since this region over here. So until we actually start seeing lower lows, and that entails us taking that 8,600 level, Kusha, I'm not going to be bearish, period.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yes, sir.
That's pretty much it, guys. My name is Sean Dexter. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Throw it a like, throw it a subscribe, and do it the mango way, do it the stress-free way, do it the breezy way, do it the easy way, because hey, trading can be as difficult as you want it to be, or it can be as easy as you want it to be. And at the mango community, we like doing it the easy way. That's why we became traders, remember? To get away from that commute, get away from the grind, get away from that hateful world of corporate slavery.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Krisha, any parting words?
No, that's it. Ciao, guys.
Ciao.